Psalm 2-7. Who is the Son of God? I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, You are my son. Today I have become your father. Psalm 2:7. This verse from the Old Testament has sparked centuries of theological reflection. Who is the Son that God refers to here? Is this merely a metaphor, or does it point to a divine reality that skeptics and non-believers cannot ignore? Let's dive into Psalm 2:7 and its profound implications for understanding God's nature and his relationship with humanity. 1. The context of Psalm 2. Psalm 2 is a royal psalm that speaks of God's anointed king. However, its language goes far beyond any earthly ruler. Divine decree. The verse introduces a declaration from God, emphasizing the unique relationship between the Lord and his Son. Messianic prophecy. Early Jewish and Christian interpretations viewed this psalm as pointing to the Messiah. Challenge. If this psalm only refers to a human king, why does it use language that suggests divine authority and an eternal relationship? 2. Who is the Son? The phrase, "You are my son," reveals a special relationship between God and the figure being addressed. Not just a human king. While some argue this refers to King David or his descendants, the scope of the psalm surpasses any earthly reign. The Son is given authority over all nations, Psalm 2:8, and warned of the consequences of defying him, Psalm 2:12. A divine identity. The New Testament connects this verse directly to Jesus Christ, affirming his divine sonship and eternal nature, Hebrews chapter 1:5, Acts 13:33. Challenge. How do skeptics explain the eternal and universal scope of this Son's authority if it refers only to a human king? 3. Connection to the Trinity. Psalm 2:7 hints at the relational nature of God, pointing to the Father-Son dynamic that is fully revealed in the New Testament. John 3:16, For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son. The Son, in Psalm 2, aligns with Jesus, the eternal Son of God. John 1:1-3, In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. The Word, identified as Jesus, has always existed in relationship with the Father. Challenge. If the Son in Psalm 2:7 is divine, how can skeptics deny the possibility of plurality within God? 4. Old Testament parallels. The concept of God's Son is not unique to Psalm 2. Other Old Testament passages reinforce this theme. Proverbs 30:4. What is his name, and what is the name of his Son? Surely you know. This verse anticipates a divine Son long before Jesus' incarnation. Isaiah 9:6. For to us a child is born, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. This prophecy aligns the Messiah with divinity. Challenge. If the Old Testament consistently points to a divine Son, how can skeptics dismiss these references as purely metaphorical? 5. New Testament fulfillment. The New Testament explicitly identifies Jesus as the fulfillment of Psalm 2:7. Matthew 3:17. At Jesus' baptism, God declares, This is my Son whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Acts 13:33. Paul applies Psalm 2:7 to Jesus' resurrection, affirming his divine identity and mission. Hebrews 1:5. For to which of the angels did God ever say, You are my Son, today I have become your Father? Challenge. How do skeptics explain the seamless connection between Psalm 2:7 and Jesus' identity as the divine Son of God? 6. Why this matters understanding. Psalm 2:7 has profound implications for theology and faith. God's relational nature, the Father-Son relationship within the Trinity, reveals a God who is inherently relational and loving. Christ's divinity. This verse affirms Jesus' divine identity, challenging skeptics to reconsider their views on his nature. The gospel message. Psalm 2 points to the universal authority of Jesus as the King of Kings and the Savior of the world. Challenge. If skeptics reject the idea of a divine Son, how do they reconcile the prophetic and theological depth of Psalm 2:7? Call to action. Who do you think the Son in Psalm 2:7 is? Could this be a direct reference to Jesus Christ, or is there another explanation? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more thought-provoking Bible studies.